Listen to the Healing Guides podcast with Hannah on Spotify. This episode, I want to talk about this concept of purity that I do personally, that I wish whoever listens to this would also take it upon their life to also do the same. It makes our life better. And if every human being did this, the whole world would be much better, since human beings have to share certain public spaces together, such as bathrooms, which is what this is about. So, as someone that, for me, personally, who cares extremely about purity and cleanliness and maintaining that decency in daily life, when I use the bathroom, I always first take water and I sprinkle it on the actual toilet seat, and then I take tissues and wipe it off first before I use it personally. Common sense, because other human beings used it. So, one, just that sort of disgust that I have with that I have to sit on a toilet seat they just got up from who knows 5 minutes ago. That's disgusting to me. So obviously that's my first reason for why I'm doing that. I'm cleaning the spot before I use it. But two, there's other things that maybe for you could also think of that would be even, more of a reason why you would do it, because it protects you from this too. And the second reason is we have a lot of evil human beings in the world. We have a lot of indecent human beings in the world, and human beings who intentionally go out of their way to make that public place, that bathroom, very dirty for others. Obviously, you've seen bathrooms when you go in there, no matter how many employees are cleaning it on a daily basis, it's just going to always be dirty, because there's intentional goal that demonic spirits have to always spread dirtiness, uncleanliness, impurity in the world, because that's an act of perversion. Perversion doesn't just mean you going outside of your nature and you doing filthy things with your body and your private parts, and that's not the only thing perversion is, just doing things with your body, harming others like rape. Perversion is also just how you naturally take care of your body. You're just dirty and you like dirty things, and you don't care if you're around dirty environments, because that's what the demonic spirits are. They live in bathrooms. They live in impure, dirty, disgusting places. They live in places like clubs and bars. They live in unholy and weird, disturbing places. So yes, human beings have free will. They can be evil too, but in this sort of context where the way the world has become, the way that things naturally just had become, demons are the ones who teach evil to human beings. It'd be a completely different dynamic if they didn't exist and God just brought the human race here and he just created evil and good. Then we'd see a completely different dynamic as to how some of them go about choosing that darkness or that evil. But since in this context, right, it's already been, decided how things are, it's demons who are sort of in charge of teaching you evil. Okay, so we're still going to have to always push everything back to their psychology. We don't have a choice in order to understand what's wrong with human beings like this. So demons like dirty, filthy, defiled, disgusting things. Okay, and they're a different species than us. They have a different body than us. So it's easy for them to do certain things like torture to the human body, and they're not going to be as disturbed by that blood or cutting the neck off or stuff like that, because it's not their body. Okay, they have a different body. So that's why some human beings can do things like that, torture human beings. And you're thinking, but how could they do that? They were a person like me one time when they were young, because there's a demon in their body and the demon is doing the behavior, and they're not disgusted by cutting this person's neck off. They're not disgusted torturing this person with rape. They're not disturbed like that because it's a completely different creation. Okay, so they're so filthy, they're so evil, yes, but it's also they have a different body than us. So as they're torturing the human body, as they're doing filthy things to the human body, it's easier, right? Not easy, easier for them, because they're not even looking at their body. You get me? They're not looking at their own body and feeling that sort of feeling that you would expect. So that's another way to then understand the gruesome things that some human beings can do, and you're expecting them to feel something because they're torturing someone with the same body as them. We're a human race, we look the same, because a different species is entering evil human beings, and they're the ones doing that. Okay, they do something to that human, they knock them out. They're not going to really feel much. That's why a lot of those psychopaths who go to prison and they're interviewed because of the way they torture their own children or spouses. When they're being interviewed, they're laughing. They just look sort of dead. It's not this sort of conscious human who's just evil. It's more like a dead person. It's more like they're gone. And every now and then they might just twitch their neck and they laugh or smirk, and then they go off and then they become silent. And it's not really what you expect. It's not a conscious human. Something else is talking out of them. Something else is smirking and laughing and torturing the detectives in that investigation room that they're questioning this crazy lunatic. So that's the thing. If you don't respect that demonic spirits exist, you're never going to understand what's wrong with human beings when it comes to the evil side, and when it comes to strange situations, when it comes to indecent things. Like, why are they making bathrooms so dirty? Like, what's wrong with you? you know just take care after yourself and leave. It's not just that they're just evil people in this world and they obviously therefore have no manners. It's not that basic. Okay, it's much bigger than that. Demonic spirits are perverted first before they're anything else. They're very filthy first. Okay, and they like to defile and distort and dishonor the human body. So that's why perversion is their first thing that they chose to spread everywhere. So this is an act of perversion as well. You finding things like feces and urine as funny and normal to be around or to mix with or to touch or to watch or to see, or to desire to go into people's bathrooms and see what their body looks like or what their feces looks like, or that is just that defile, filthy perversion aspect that demons have, that they're obviously trying to push to you and teach you as well. So then you're gonna understand what's wrong with these humans. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's that this other species has an agenda, and if you're possessed, that's their job to now then push you in that direction. Okay, but obviously different types of humans are possessed. Some of them are not gonna go that far. It's up to you, your character. Okay, but some human beings, they just grew up in perversion environments. Their family, they saw so much perversion. They just grew up in so much trauma, and there's someone that could choose that side. Therefore, it's easy for demons to keep pushing you to this side. But if you're someone that won't choose that, then they're going to push you to something else, okay? But slowly they'll teach you at some point to go that way. So it is what it is, okay? So what I'm saying is demons intentionally have this agenda, since human beings have to share public bathrooms, to then use that as a platform now to corrupt you. Get it? Corrupt you means teach you evil. So they want to teach you something evil so that at some point, one human who's wicked actually likes it and does it as well and joins in on that behavior. And they also start to then, when they go to public bathrooms, make it dirty and leave. That could be that you don't flush. That could be that, you intentionally sprinkle your feces or urine all over the actual bathroom or the actual toilet seat or even inside the toilet seat areas in a way that you're trying to intentionally make it stay there or get stuck there, so people actually have no choice but to see it, whether it's the person who cleans the bathrooms or the actual human beings who use that environment like customers, etc., for that type of business environment. Or it could be your house and you have guests over, family, etc. You could be married and your spouse and children have to see that. This filthy father could be doing that intentionally so his children see that, and he tries to corrupt them into seeing that filth, becoming perverted, so then he could then get their consent to rape them the next day. It's that simple, okay? It has an agenda, okay? It literally does lead into perversion itself, like rape and homosexuality. It goes in that direction because you're already involving dirty stuff, acts of filth into this daily part of your routine as a human being. You're making society a sort of time for yourself to go and show others filth. Okay, it's easy then, right? For you to then go and do that one day, those other acts of perversion, because you're already a human being who's not disturbed by those filthy things. You're not disturbed by filth of feces and urine. You're not normal anymore. And you want to torture other human beings by putting that out there every time you get a chance. Because you're perverted. And perversion does involve feces and urine like what homosexuals do. It's always going to be just this filth, this dirtiness, this impurity, this sort of choice to go after the organs that are not sexual like the anal, and just torturing each other. It's just about torture and abuse and harm. But it goes in a direction where it's about dirtiness and filth in the way that they actually go about it. It's not just, oh, harm the body. No, it's also involve dirty into it. Feces, filth, stuff like that, impurities, other things. The environment they go to could be filled with so much filth on the floor, and then they go on there and do filth to each other. Do you get the point? So perversion is the opposite of sex, is the opposite of sexuality for that reason. You can't say it's also sexual, but not leave that nonsense. It's the opposite. Opposite means evil. Get it? Just like lying, the opposite is truth. Okay, so truth is normal. Lying is not normal. Lying is evil. Therefore, it's the opposite. So when I say opposite, I'm not playing some parallel game with you like, what's the opposite of an apple? It's not that kind of word game. I mean, it's evil when I say it's opposite, okay? So when I say perversion is this, then you should be thinking the opposite is sex, the natural one God created. Therefore, anything outside of that, anything opposite of that, you should be thinking is evil. You get me? Because it's perversion, and perversion is evil. Don't act like it's just some sort of taboo thing, but it's not evil or something. No, it's evil. It's not natural. It's not sex, okay? So human beings who are filthy like that, human beings who are on a daily basis are constantly doing all this perversion, promiscuity, etc., all this stuff. It's them who are going to have that spirit enter their body that wants to then slowly do that in society. Make bathrooms dirty, expose their private parts to people. Their friends could make it seem like it's funny to go to the bathrooms together and record each other. When someone's maybe sitting on the toilet, that's a demon following you, and it wants to defile you and distort you, take away your humanity, and bring filth into the process. Why is a friend coming into the bathroom and recording you and acting like this is some prank or some joke, or what is going on? This is your private moment, the most dirtiest time. No one's supposed to see you. You're in the bathroom. So demons are trying to distort our humanity, okay? So you're not supposed to have your spouse enter the toilet with you, like the actual bathroom. Shower is a bit of your choice. That's different because you're just standing and you're just putting water over yourself. I'm talking about when you're using the toilet, when you're passing feces and urine, okay? Or the female has her period. You're not, as a male, supposed to go there with her, and she's not supposed to go there with you when you're passing feces and urine. That is the part where we are human with each other. We're decent with each other. We have boundaries and limits with each other. Spouse doesn't mean you can do whatever you want to each other. It doesn't mean you can just see each other 24/7, as if somehow being married or dating somehow means this person is some sort of part of you now. They're not you. You're your own person. You have your own body. They have their own body. They have their own identity. You don't mix just because you want each other romantically. That's not how it goes. You're still two separate human beings. You still have to maintain decency. The only thing you're sharing in a romantic relationship is just that act. Just look at my words. It's just an act. The act is just sexual. The one God created, okay? Not anal or oral, okay? Just the other one. That's all you're doing together. And then you're romantic other times. Maybe you're hugging, etc. That's it. Don't then listen to the devil who tells you to go outside of that and involve these areas that normally this person would not see you, such as when you go to the toilet, and then let the devil actually tell you that you should see each other in that moment too. Hell no. That's filth. That's private to that person. They have their own individual humanity. You are not their creator. You cannot see them in those intimate situations with themselves. Okay, those are private moments with themselves. They're passing feces, they're passing urine. You're not supposed to go there and watch it and see it. Do you understand me? That's outside of your nature. That's perversion. That's filth. That's you defiling each other. That's dirty. That's what demons do. That's what they taught you. Same thing with your children. Except when they're tiny and people have to clean them when they get to that age, 3, whatever it is, that they're doing it on their own. You don't ever look at your children's private parts anymore. Leave them alone. Now they're becoming this sort of adult almost. You treat them like another person who's a mature adult. So have this habit that I have. Every time you go to bathrooms and every time you use it, wash the toilet seat. Then use it. Don't put your butt there when other people's butts was there. You don't know what germs, what disease. And I've seen it myself. Some people leave their urine there, like I just said. That's why I explained it first. They leave their urine there. They leave their feces there. They leave their blood there. Clean that out first and then use it. Be clean and honor your body and honor your health. Take care of yourselves. And that obviously means you also must clean the bathroom before you leave too. Wipe off whatever you did there. And as a male, the demon obviously likes to teach you to do this act of perversion. He likes to act like it's some sort of feminine or weak thing for you to use the actual toilet by sitting down. So it tells you to stand up and pee that way. No, that's dirty and disgusting. Just sit down and be like a normal person. And don't spread your feces and don't spread your urine all over the place. That's disgusting. That's perversion. That's shamelessness. The toilet was designed to be in that sort of low place, right? You can sit on it versus it's making you stand, because it's trying to help you on a health basis. It's trying to actually help you relax your body, because otherwise you could develop disease from not sitting properly or rushing yourself too much when you're supposed to, pass feces or urine. Okay, but two, the toilet is designed that way intentionally because that's the decent and healthy and basic human way for you to just sit down and pass that dirty stuff that God created everyone to pass. That's the way that human beings use rationale to learn that God taught them, obviously, to pass it through a toilet, something on the ground. That's why it wants you to sit down, because it doesn't want you to stand. Otherwise it's gonna get on the actual environment. Okay, you wouldn't obviously argue with me and say it's normal to put feces and urine in an actual bathroom, the actual tile, you would agree that's not humane. You would agree that's not a normal moral thing to do. So just because you do something, don't use that to lie and act like you think it's normal. When you know it's not normal, you know that's perverted. You learned that recently. You didn't do that before. You watched too much porn and looked at too much filth, and then you got to this way. Okay, but if you were around healthy people, you wouldn't have become this way. So don't lie. There's people who are not like you. And then as a male, that's what I'm saying. Since you are the gender that demons need to turn into predators, they have to teach you slowly to become homosexuals. They have to teach you then slowly to take you away from that and then turn you into rapists and molesters. Okay, so it's very easy for them to target you with these things more than a female, because they need to teach you to first lose your decency. In order to turn you into a higher level pervert, they have to first take away your decency. The decency of using the bathroom, get it? Anything to do with your private parts, demons have to teach you indecency first, right? Such as showing others your private parts, such as letting them touch you, such as your friends entering the bathroom and recording you, stuff like that. They have to first take away that decency, that privacy between you and other human beings. Okay, then now slowly they can teach you things that would then you would normally use those indecent behaviors with, things that you would actually times that you would actually do those indecent things, such as homosexuality. They obviously pass feces and urine on each other. That's what I'm saying. So they're just trying to teach you homosexuality, basically. Every day that they're teaching males to have these bathrooms in the United States or European countries, because Europe is really the race, or Europeans are the race, sorry, that demons target with perversion the most. Okay, it is what it is. Just like Africa, they target them with poverty. Okay, so perverted humans come out of every race. Yes, but I'm saying in terms of who they target. Okay, demons target a certain group more with something than another group. It's that simple. So the European race will always be the ones that have humans come out of them who will always have the highest level of perversion. They're always going to promote it, spread it, put it in your face, use government, weapons, and police to force that on your face. Okay, they're going to get to a point of forcing it on people. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. For that reason, you're going to see it usually in these countries that are usually European or the United States. You're going to see the bathrooms are built in a way where males can stand. That's not normal. And God is not seeing that as a normal thing. That's a sin. And to God, that's evil. Because other males are able to see your private parts. That's a sin. No one is supposed to see your private parts except your spouse. So for that reason, it's a sin. And it leads to homosexuality for some human beings who could like that stuff. Obviously, the devil will come to their mind and be like, look at that male's private part. Okay, that's how he teaches them to become homosexual in this way as well. Let's say before porn was there, before, maybe a specific homosexual was in the street teaching you. He taught males to become homosexuals this way, okay, by teaching them that it's okay to be naked with each other, such as Asians usually do, the males, where they go into hot springs with each other. The females do it too. So slowly he's teaching a gender to lose their privacy with each other when it comes to areas of their body that they normally don't expose to that same gender. Okay, so he needs to teach them that, and then he obviously, now it's easy for him to turn them into homosexuals. Do you see what I'm saying? But even if they don't become homosexual, it doesn't matter. You're still perverted because you're comfortable with the same gender seeing your naked body in areas that are not normal, such as your private parts, such as your chest for the female also. So it's not okay. And I need you to know that it's not okay. I need you to know that it's demonic and it's not normal. It's not masculinity. It's not manliness. The greatest men of, of the human race, which are the righteous men of God Almighty, would never do something like this. They're decent, moral, pure men. That's why when they die, demons accuse prophets of being perverted, such as they accused our prophet Muhammad of being a pervert, such as they accuse all other biblical prophets of having some strange, perverted behavior. That's it, because they're the opposite of it, so they have to accuse them of it because they're pissed off. Okay, these men are your example. So if their character is destroyed and corrupted after their death and they can't defend themselves, now even religion can't defend them, right? Religious people will tell you to stop this stuff, but then the evil human will be like, but your religion is okay with this perversion. Why are you coming after me? And now religious people don't know what to say. You see? They're dumb. They're supposed to go think and be like, you're right. Wait a minute. We're the ones teaching morality here and our religions are immoral. Wait a minute. That means it's corrupted. They don't think. I need you to think. In your conscience, you know this is weird. You know this is gross. You know this is not human nature. You know this is immoral. You're not supposed to be too comfortable with your own gender. You're not supposed to be too comfortable with the opposite gender. Your private parts are called private for a reason. They're private from everyone. Only through sexual encounter does it technically lose that privacy. Okay, who's your sexual partner? Your spouse, which is the opposite gender that's not related to you by blood or extended family like cousins or anything like that. That's it. Girlfriends and boyfriends are a sin. But at least we could understand. You get me? It's a sin, but at least that was natural. Because that's an opposite gender that is not related to you, that you like, that is, compatible with you, that you're dating. Fine, I get it. But accept that situation that's romantic. No one is supposed to see your private parts. Do you understand? Why it's so important for you to understand these areas, why Islam cares about it. Islam tells you to not do these things. These are evil things, indecent things. You don't honor yourself, then it's easy to go to level 2, actually becoming a pervert, okay? In another level, because perversion is different levels and different types. So leave these things. Don't let other males, as a male, see your private parts. Don't pee and pass feces or urine or anything in the bathroom that you share with them or in that environment. Don't let them see what your pee looks like or your feces looks like. Flush the toilet like a human being is supposed to do. Don't call that into some cool thing and talk about it with them. Don't tell them your private parts, what it looks like or what you do. Stop this stuff that is private. See, private parts, everything you do with it, such as the sexual things you do with the opposite gender that's not related to you, don't tell anybody. That's private. That's the other act of perversion, sharing what you do as a male with females with other males. You're sharing her, you're dishonoring her, you're torturing that female's honor. Okay, she's a human, she has honor. It doesn't matter if she's committing a sin with you and she's selling herself and you're selling yourself and you're all promiscuous. You're still human beings. Don't go telling those males what her body look like. And then obviously when you get married, that's going to be a problem. You're not going to honor your wife. And as a female, you're not going to honor your husband. You're going to dishonor that person that you're supposed to love and protect, which means you don't tell anything you do with them sexually, romantically, what their body looks like, their personal history, their traumas, anything about this person beyond something such as their name, and that basically they're your spouse. You're not supposed to share anything beyond that with anyone. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, the public, animals. You're not supposed to tell anybody about them. That is perversion. That is you selling the person. It's like you taking a photo of them, putting it on a porn site, and letting all those filthy males Of course, sometimes good people can go on porn. You know what I mean. Letting all those weird, filthy, evil human beings watch this person. Wouldn't you agree that's evil? Wouldn't you agree that's a disgusting, disturbing thing? If someone right now took a photo of your mom that's naked, put it on, some online website, like that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about your sexual encounters, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're dishonoring that person. All these males get to now visualize what her body looks like because you're telling them. How can you say you love her? Okay, so obviously you don't love her. Okay? If you truly love a human being, romantically of the opposite gender that's not related to you, you would obviously know what love means. The first thing it means is honor, meaning you want to protect this person. You obviously don't have any ability to do evil to them. That also means not sharing anything private about them, such as your sexual time with them, your romantic time with them, the promises you make to each other, the problems you have, the fights you have, the arguments you have. Don't tell anybody these things. Their traumas, what their body looks like. Don't do that. That's perversion. That's a sin, and you're going to go to hell. Okay? When that person dies, they'll tell God, God, this human being dishonored me. You know? They're going to tell God they obviously married you in a healthy way. They didn't commit a sin, but you shared them and stuff. You treated them like a prostitute. That's what they're going to say to God. Don't treat the people you're dating or you're married to like prostitutes. Stop talking about them and their body. Stop telling these friends, so-called fake friends you have, what you're doing with this person. That's perversion. But because you live in a world that's highly perverted, demonic, and no one cares about God, they're going to make you think that's normal. No, it's not. You know it's not, because you're human like me. You have a conscience like me. Only out of evil heart would you argue, but not out of rationale. Leave these things. Honor people, even if they don't honor themselves, even if that person is selling themselves. What does that have to do with you? You honor them, they're a human being. You honor the creation of God. You honor the other creation of God that's not living, such as the earth. Don't do evil to anything, and don't do evil to yourself. Don't expose people. Don't take photos of your spouse or that person you're dating. Don't show any photos of them, videos of them. Don't obviously record your sexual encounters. Don't put it on a porn site. Don't do none of this filthy stuff where you're exposing that private time with this person to anyone God created. It's between the two of you. That evil thought that comes to your mind is from the devil. You don't allow that to come in. You choose to be a person of honor. And you always think about God. Because if you're already this way, obviously you're already evil. In order to change, I want you to start thinking about God, what He would want. Because then what's going to happen is something is going to happen to your heart. This sort of emotion that's like peace is going to enter. And that darkness is going to go away. That's not obviously the reason you should change. You should change because this is evil. That should be your first reason, not God, obviously. I'm saying in order to feel good, energy that would allow you to hate the dark one, the evil energy, the one that tells you to do bad things to others like this. Think about God because His energy is beautiful. His energy is peace. Okay? Think about righteous, pure people. Just visualize them even if you don't think they exist. I know you probably don't think they exist because you obviously don't see them. Even people in religion are promoting perversion. I get it. I'm just saying they exist, or visualize the most pure person you can imagine. That's the energy you need to emulate. Take care of yourself. And I already recorded an entire episode on this, like don't share the person you're romantic with or you're married to or dating, etc. Please listen to that episode because I explained it much better. If you're interested in this subject, I just have to rephrase it because it falls under this bathroom subject. Okay, take care of yourself.